This is going to be a short lesson, but it's an important one, especially if you're just starting out with Figma. When you're working in designs, there's going to be tons of layers that you're going to be working around with, and some of them are going to be overlapping, like this example in here, where you have a frame that has a rectangle inside of it. There's some kind of a rectangle in here as well. You might be able to kind of just select one of them, then deselect the other one by holding Shift, but it can get tiresome. So one of the ways that you can move around it is by knowing what elements you don't want to move around, because you've kind of finalized how they're going to look like and where they're going to be placed and everything. And you can use the lock feature for it. So if you hover over the elements and layers on the left panel that we have in here, all of them have a little lock icon that you can use to kind of lock that element inside of it. You can also kind of use it to show and hide things, or you can use the shortcut Command Shift L to lock and unlock. If you're unsure and you're kind of using Windows, we do provide you with a list of all of those shortcuts, so you can always compare. If I'm using something on a Mac and you can see those shortcuts happening in here on the screen, you can always refer to how to do the same thing on Windows as well. So you can just lock the layer. That means that when you're selecting and going over items in here, it's no longer going to be easily selectable, and it's not something that you can just kind of move. So you can see, no matter how hard I try, this shape in here and this layer in here is going to stay locked. So that's a great thing that you can use to ensure that you're just focusing on the element that you want to focus on. And also another thing to keep in mind with locking and unlocking is that if you lock the parent, all of the child elements inside are also going to get locked. So you can see that I can no longer easily select the little rectangle that we have in the frame, but I can go in here, unlock it, and just select the child element, in a sense, the nested element, a rectangle within this frame, and lock just it. So I can still move things around in here, but it's not gonna basically affect, I'm not gonna be able to select the element in here. Another thing that happened as I was moving layers around is sometimes if more than 50% of a shape or a layer goes outside of the parent frame, it's gonna take it outside. To be able to kind of not have that happen, you can, as soon as you select an element, you can hold space, and then you can basically move it around without a parent frame size limiting you where you can place things in your main frame. So it's always going to stay locked in a sense, and that's very useful too. So those are just a couple of tips that you can use when we're working with layers, frames, and so on, to keep things in place that need to stay there.